Well, today is Sunday, November 4th. We have an election coming up on Tuesday. Midterms are actually very important, particularly in this election. There's seats in the House that are kind of up in the air. They could swing Democrat or Republican. I was never a political person. I've mentioned that before. But that changed after after the Clinton administration. And I was forever altered because of NAFTA. And after that, I wanted nothing ever to do with Democrats ever again. I come from an apolitical home, though. My family always voted for who they thought was the best person for the job, which means they could swing one way or the other. But I'm at a point in life where I just look at things between what's good and what's bad. And you have one side of the coin, okay, is followed by crazy people. These are the people that think abortion is okay, and they believe in 500 different genders, and and they think that it's okay to be crazy. That's what they've adopted, and those are Democrats. And I've been having some interesting social interactions in real time and space with a very liberal person. And she is, it's all emotionally driven. She lives here in Illinois, and she's donating money to Beto O'Rourke. Robert O'Rourke, the English guy that passes himself off as Hispanic down in Texas. She lives here in Illinois. And she's talking about, oh, this guy is great. He's a superstar. And I've noticed this is a pattern with this person. It's all emotion. Everything is emotion. Oh, he looks wonderful. He's going to be the next JFK. He's so entertaining. He's so smooth and silky when he speaks. You know what? I don't want to listen to somebody that's smooth and silky when they speak. Right? Hitler was good at that. He was really good at that. Obama was great at that. Roll up his sleeves and pretend he's a working man. That guy never worked a day of hard labor in his life. For crying out loud. So the elections are important. And I guess my real driving force for this was I've been thinking about all these people that are coming up on our southern border. There are 4 separate caravans. Okay? The one that's supposed to hit, and it's the one that's coming first has been, it's documented. Okay? That 70 to 80% of these guys they're men, not women and children. So I listen to some of these liberals. I see them on Facebook, and I see them on TV, and they're talking to them, and they believe it's women and children coming to seek asylum. Well, economic reasons, you can't get into this country for economic reasons and say that's asylum. You can't. Okay? That's just the way the law works here. So you got 7,000 people, and you have people that are pissed off because they call it an invasion. They're marching with the Honduran flag. Okay? The last time I checked, armies march with a flag. Okay? That's what they do. They put their flag in front of their... And what's going on they're moving through Mexico, and they're acting the fools, and they're actually doing crazy stuff. And they're doing crazy shit. Okay? They're tearing... They're cavemen. They're throwing rocks at helicopters. If they were in Israel, they'd be shooting them. These people are coming over here. They're being paid by the Soros Open Borders Foundation. You don't know what the hell is in that caravan of people, okay? And this is what I want to tell people. If you believe in the inherent goodness of mankind, you're full of shit. I mean, plain and simple. If you really believe in the inherent goodness of man or human beings, you have your head up your ass. I like to think, I don't like to talk about myself. I'll let other people talk about me, people who know me. Okay? And I have been screwed for being a generous person more times than I can count. Okay? I added it up the other day. I have given away over $26,000 of money to people. And only one person ever paid me back. One person. And that was a measly $1,000. And I have the utmost respect for this man because he did that. I mean, he's a nice guy. And you know, he never came. He didn't come to me. And he didn't come to me either looking for the offer. I heard that he was in need of something from some other men. And they wanted to all take up a collection. And I asked how much it was. And I said, you know what? I can handle that. And I'm a big believer that you really shouldn't give money if you don't think you're going to get it back. But you should have the expectation of getting it back. Okay? And I got it back from him in a relatively short period of time, too. See, he didn't screw me. Okay? And I have the utmost respect for him. So I'm not saying these other people are bad people, but you know what? When money gets involved with stuff, I won't do that ever again for anybody. I mean, I've become really hardened because of it. You know, when I've been in really a bad financial strait, I couldn't count on anybody to give me anything back. Okay? And this was recently. So if you think, let's get back to this Caravan thing. You got 7,000 people there. Do you really think all of them are going to be decent people? Do you really think that? You don't know anything about these people. You know, back in the 80s, I believe it was in the 80s, we had what was called the Cuban migrant boat crisis or whatever the hell it was. And you had all these people coming from Cuba over on boats. And Reagan, it was in the 80s. Reagan sent out the Navy and the Coast Guard to stop them from getting here. Well, Castro, he emptied all his insane asylums and all his prisons and stuck a lot of those people on those boats. And they got here. They came here. They ended up in Miami. You know, Miami is terrible. Miami is full of crime. Miami, you don't want to go to Miami. No, normal people don't want to go to Miami. It's terrible. So what happens is, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. If you get these people in the country, first of all, it sets precedence. You let the first group in, then they're going to keep sending them and sending them and sending them. You're going to have that going on. They're going to start, and mark my words, you'll have people on boats. The Soros Foundation will pack people up on boats over in Africa and Eastern Europe and wherever the hell else they can find some, find people and pay and get them over here, and they'll do the same stupid thing. Watch. If they come in. Now, I am praying that nothing crazy happens down there, but that's what this is for. This is to cause an international incident because you can't get Trump out of office legally. Okay? They've been trying for 2 years. There's nothing there with a Russian collusion, okay? There's no impeachable offense. They would have found one by now. They've been working real hard at it. And to all of the Facebook people who think, he's going to be impeached in the next 2 years. He's not going to get impeached. You need an impeachable offense, okay? And you don't even know what an impeachable offense is. I bet how many of you don't even know what an impeachment actually means. All right, but you need to have an offense that's impeachable. He hasn't got one, okay? Regardless, it's not there. They would have found it already. So what's the best way to get rid of him? The best way to get rid of him is bring him up before an international tribunal or international court. And the only way you're going to do that is cause some type of a crisis where you cause some harm to other people, okay? That's not in war, because war is exempt from that stuff. So let's send 7,000 people up to the border, and we're going to make them act like crazy people, and we'll put the women and children in front so you don't harm them, because that's what evil people do. Okay, they'll put the women and children in front so they don't get harmed. And behind them they'll be pulling shenanigans. You watch what this is what's going to happen. They're going to get on that border and start acting the fool, and they're going to antagonize the troops to the point where the troops want to shoot them. They're lucky I'm not, because I'd shoot them. I mean, I would shoot them. I hate to say that, but you're going to act the fool, then you're going to get bullet. You throw a rock, you should get. It's unnecessary force. Look, you don't know what these people are going to do. So we have a whole bunch of Democrats that believe we should have open borders. Just let them in. I've met these people. Okay? Let them in. And I'm going to tell you what they'll do. They will divide them all up, okay? And they will send them to every major city in the country. And they will make the urban environment worse. First of all, they're all going to be on welfare. None of these people probably have discernible skills. You understand that they're coming from shithole countries. They probably are illiterate. I bet a huge portion of them are illiterate. And their skill set is not going to be good. Okay? We have people in this country that need jobs. And the country's doing well. It's back on track. It's doing well. But you have whole areas of our country where they still need education. If you think, go to Mississippi, good God, go to Mississippi and see real. You want real poverty? Go to the American South. Real poverty, not like the poverty in Chicago where everybody has a house and they all have heat. Or go down south where people are in trailers on cinder blocks. Okay, think about this. You really need to see it. And they burn their trash in a trash can. Okay, that's how they get rid of their trash. That doesn't exist at least in Chicago. I don't think it exists in any northern state because all those people that are dirt poor live very well, in the sense that their basic needs are covered. They got enough money for food stamps. They got enough housing vouchers, and your landlord can't turn the heat off, and they have heat and they have a roof over their head. You go down south, go to Appalachia. Go to Appalachia, and you want to see poverty, real poverty. These are our people. These are our countrymen. These are people who have been here, born and bred here. This is just the way it is. You're gonna pour these people over, and the drain that they will put on the economic, on the healthcare system, on the social systems, they will stay on welfare forever. And let me tell you something. And from the Hispanic point of view, a ton of these people, all those young men are going to get hooked up in these Latin gangs, okay? In every one of these major cities. They're going to get hooked up in these gangs. And none of those Latin gangs are pleasant people, okay? They're violent. They're nasty. They cause a lot of problems. There's drugs, all kinds of... No. You people need to stop living in a fantasy land that you live in. This is the reality of it. Do not go assuming in the goodness of humanity because you don't have it here. It's not happening. I'm sure there's probably some decent people in there who just want to get... But you don't march on the borders demanding that you have a right to come in. It doesn't work that way. You can't march, an American can't march on the Canadian border and demand that we come in. It doesn't work that way. And this is infuriating when I start to see my fellow countrymen who have no brain. There's nothing here. There's all this. The space between this is empty. I don't define my life by politics. If Republicans lose, I still go fishing. I'm not going to... I know that there are people, and I don't know them personally, but I have friends that know them. These people lose sleep because Trump is president. How pathetic are you when you lose sleep for 2 years? I hope he's president for a total of 8 because, man, the meltdown... The mental meltdown so many of these people have is just priceless. So, when you go out to vote, don't vote with your emotions, okay? And I'm talking every conservative. Screw the liberals, because you don't listen to anything anybody has to say. You don't listen to reason. You don't listen to logic. None of that stuff makes sense to you anyway. You get caught up in this little fantasy land of make-believe based on how you feel. Because that's how you're feeling. Okay? So I'm not talking about, but anybody that's either sitting on the fence or a conservative that has a mind that thinks. Look at everything around you. And use logic and reason to decide who to vote for. Because you want to vote for crazy people? Or you vote for people that... Look, politicians are the lowest form of life on the planet. Okay, but at this point in our juncture, I think we got more noble people that are conservatives than the crazy lefties. I'm honest to goodness, because we're at what you're dealing with here is people that want communism and socialism, and none of that is ever good. They want the government to make every decision that you have in life. They want to control. They want to control what you think. They want to control what you say. This is going to be, everything I'm saying here is all labeled microaggressions and hate speech by liberals. Almost every word that's coming out of my mouth is hate speech and microaggressions to liberals. Okay? And the Supreme Court a long time ago said, hey, hate speech is still free speech. At least we live in a country where we still have that. That's gone in Europe. Try doing that in Germany. Try saying anything negative about anybody. Try saying something negative about Islam in Britain. See what happens to you. Okay? They throw you in jail for that stuff. If you want to say, oh, Muhammad had a 6-year-old wife. He was a pedophile. Oh, you're talking negative Islam. You're going to jail. These are the thought police. We can't have this in this country. We can't have people in power that think that they could control everything that you say because you don't like what they say. Well, tough shit. So, I don't know who watches this. Ellen, I know you watch it. So, and maybe at this point I am Archie Bunker. I don't know, but just use some logic, use some reason. Don't live by your emotions. Emotions are wonderful servants. They're terrible masters. Terrible masters. And look, when you see people controlled by their emotions, they're like wild animals. I mean, that's the only way I could describe it. Even animals are governed by limitations, but human beings don't have limitations when they're governed by their emotions. They become monsters. They really do become monsters. But so you got a choice. You got a choice between conservatives controlling things, or you got crazy people. Because there's only option. That's the only two options you got. You got crazy people. Mob rule. It's just, look around you. Start to look and see. And a lot of you people, you may not live in areas where there's crazy people. Look, I live in Chicago. You want to see kooks? I could show you a lot of kooks. Every major city that's filled with liberals has got kooks. It's got a whole bunch of lame, nutty people that are running high on emotion and nothing else. And they love the urban environment. That's one thing you'll see in common with all of them. That's one thing I'm starting to learn about them. They love an urban environment. They think that the world revolves around cement, concrete, and steel. And, because it's so beautiful. Isn't it urban life so beautiful? No! Urban life sucks. But I'm getting off my rant here. Anyway, go out and vote. Vote for sane people. Don't vote for kooks. Don't vote for the nutters. Okay? Vote for the reality of logic and reason and sensible thinking. Don't let the kooks win the day. You cannot let crazy people win the day. The world never ends well with crazy people. Okay? Just remember that. It never ends well with crazy people. All right, I have to go out here and brave the rain and pick up some things. Knock yourselves out.